If Terence Crawford moves up to fight Canelo, it's going to be a worse fight than fucking Charlo running around Canelo by murder against Crawford. That shit wouldn't happen. They have weight classes for it.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford are set to clash around Cinco de Mayo weekend. Beyond facing his formidable Mexican opponent, Crawford must contend with a wave of doubters. While he's no stranger to skepticism, boxing experts are urging him to protect his undefeated record. They warn that stepping into this fight could end in disappointment, risking his legacy in a battle many believe he has little chance of winning.
Canelo,
Crawford cares about his life, and with that fight, what do that fight do for Canelo? Fighting Crawford, and Crawford beats Canelo. What do that do for Canelo?
Jones, a dominant boxer of his era, remains deeply engaged with the next generation of stars. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, two top pound-for-pound fighters, have especially captured his attention. Their potential matchup has ignited excitement among boxing fans, sparking widespread anticipation for a clash of modern-day legends.
I think that there are so many other fights to make that's realistic, it makes sense, and less life-risking on top of the risk that we risk stepping in there with guys out.
Terence Crawford, a four-division world champion, has shown interest in fighting super middleweight King Canelo, but the weight disparity presents a significant challenge for the American boxer.
Booth time to take over and start beating the guys around him. He's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy.
In an interview with Mill City Boxing, Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts on a potential clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, praising Crawford's talent while favoring Canelo. "I like Terence, but I lean toward Canelo," Jones said. He acknowledged Crawford's disadvantage in size early on, but warned that if Canelo allows Crawford to settle into the fight, the American could pose serious problems. Jones emphasized Canelo's striking power as the decisive factor, noting that Crawford's ability to handle the size and power disparity would determine his success. If Terence adjusts, he can outbox him, Jones concluded.
Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He willing to take that gamble.
Roy Jones Jr. emphasized the uncertainty surrounding a potential clash between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. "We won't know until we see Terence get hit, because we haven't seen him face that kind of power," he said. Jones identified the key factor. If you can disrupt Bud's fight plan, you got a chance. But if you can't hurt him, you can't change his plan. And that's a big problem. This analysis highlights Crawford's need to neutralize Canelo's renowned power. By imposing his technical boxing skills and avoiding devastating punches, Crawford could pull off a historic upset. For now, the fight remains a dream for fans, as Alvarez prepares for his next battle.
If he beats him, he may go fight Benavidez next. If he don't beat him, he say, "Okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done."
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets...
William Scholes, the IBF interim champion, has emerged as a potential opponent, marking a shift in the narrative for Hall of Fame fighter Roy Jones Jr., now a promoter, trainer, and analyst. Jones previously discussed scenarios involving Terence Crawford and David Benavidez facing Canelo Alvarez. Initially favoring Benavidez, Jones has since reconsidered. Speaking to *boxingscene.com*, he described it as a tough fight to predict, emphasizing Benavidez's high punch volume, but noting how power could change the dynamics. "Sometimes power makes all the difference," Jones reflected, highlighting the unpredictability of such matchups.
A little big for Crawford. I'm not sure about that because Crawford does have punching power and shock, but I think Canelo's a little big. He showed tonight that he's pretty big, so I probably would rather see fight.
The question is whether Canelo Alvarez is willing to take the risk. "I don't think he will right now because I don't believe he feels he has a reason to," said the former two-time super middleweight champion. "If he can't hurt Benavidez in the first 3 or 4 rounds, I don't see him winning that fight." Benavidez has spent the last 2 years pushing for a showdown with Alvarez. Meanwhile, Terence Crawford, once the world's top welterweight, has expressed interest in moving up 2 weight classes to face the Mexican star. However, Alvarez remains unconvinced, stating that a win against Crawford would not significantly impact his legacy, despite many believing Crawford has a legitimate chance to emerge victorious.
Charlo fight Crawford first, and then see how that goes. If he does good against Charlo with the weight, then let's see him come up and fight Canelo. Yes, but not.
Anybody can do it and pull it off. You can't count Crawford out, said Roy Jones Jr. I was the kind of guy who, if someone claimed they were better than me and I could get close to their weight, I'd make it happen. When I won the heavyweight title in 2003, I gave up 33 pounds to John Rudis. I didn't care. I wanted to prove I was pound for pound the best and achieve something historic. That's probably how Bud Crawford feels right now. He wants to make history and solidify his legacy in boxing. Jones continued, who wouldn't want to see the pound for pound best of yesterday fight the pound for pound best of today? It's a mega fight. If Bud puts on the muscle and weight, how can you doubt him? One thing is certain, he's not just showing up to collect a paycheck. He'll step into the ring to win because that's who Bud is. If he carries the weight effectively, it'll be a great fight. He's got the skills to box like Floyd Mayweather, but he can also fight. He hits and avoids getting hit. If Crawford can handle the punches at that weight, I believe he has a real shot at
I want to see Crawford come up with some weight classes and show he can be dominant at 54. You understand?
That fight will go Crawford and
Crawford won the pound for pound best fighter.
Roy Jones Jr., a 4-division title holder who fluctuated in weight during his career, believes Canelo Alvarez should focus on super middleweight. It's definitely best that Alvarez stays at 168. I didn't understand why he moved to 175 to fight Mitri Bivol, Jones said. He had already beaten Sergey Kovalev, who was at the end of his career, but Bivol is in his prime. They're two different animals. Alvarez got Kovalev at the right time. He should go back down to 168 and dominate because lightning isn't going to strike twice. Meanwhile, former two-weight champion Andrew Ward has also weighed in on the potential super fight between Alvarez and Terence Crawford, adding further intrigue to the conversation surrounding these top-tier matchups.
I can bet the house on is Bud, because me and him, we so much alike in our mentality. Like soon as I see this dude.
Terence Bud Crawford has been targeting Canelo Alvarez ever since his career-defining win over Errol Spence Jr. last year. While Alvarez initially dismissed the idea, he recently admitted he would consider defending his super middleweight titles against Crawford if the financial terms were right. Speaking on the All the Smoke podcast, former undefeated champion Andrew Ward shared his two top matchups in boxing. I want to see Canelo fight either Terence Crawford or David Benavidez, he said. You've got two options. You can face someone in your weight class, or you can pick on the smaller guy, Terence Crawford. Interview. When it comes to a potential Crawford-Canelo clash, Andrew Ward is putting his money on Terence Crawford, despite the size difference. I'm not betting against Terence right now, against anybody. When talking about the most skilled fighters today, Crawford is someone I would bet the house on, Ward said. Me and Bud are so similar in our mentality. He's skillful, yes, but his heart and mind set him apart. There aren't many guys like him. A lot of fighters talk the talk, but until you're in a real fight, one that's a 50-50s matchup, you don't really know what you have. Crawford's mentality makes him special. Enter rivals. Shakur Stevenson, who refers to Terence Crawford as his big brother, believes Crawford would defeat Canelo Alvarez if they ever faced off, despite a 14-pound weight disadvantage. Stevenson, unlike others such as Jermell Charlo, thinks the weight difference wouldn't be a problem for Crawford. He's different. He's a dog. When you need to be that guy, he's that guy, Stevenson said. Canelo has expressed no interest in fighting Crawford due to the size factor, but Stevenson disagrees. He believes skills, not size, win fights, and Crawford possesses the perfect combination. A southpaw stance, excellent movement, and solid fundamentals, all of which would create real problems for Canelo. Interview. Speaking to IFL TV, Shakur Stevenson praised Terence Crawford, saying Crawford is running things right now. When asked about Crawford's next opponent, Stevenson expressed a desire to see him face Jermell Charlo, although Charlo is already scheduled to fight Canelo. Stevenson believes Crawford could defeat Canelo, citing his southpaw stance, excellent movement, and solid boxing fundamentals. It would be tough for Canelo to walk Crawford down and land his powerful hooks, Stevenson said. I wish Charlo wasn't fighting Canelo, but it is what it is. I think Bud could beat Canelo because I don't think size wins fights, skills do.